Hey guys, it's me, Mr. 250, and welcome back to Trauma Team. It's time to hop into another forensics mission, it seems. And let's get started here. What is she working on here?
Hello,
Like some kind of body?
I'm Alyssa. I live in the house over there. Where do you live, Mr. Butterfly?
Great. She's at it again.
Melissa knows what's good for her, she'll get off my lawn. Or I might have to pull out the gun again, if you know what I mean.
Hey, kitty girl, what are you doing? No trespassing.
But there's a butterfly.
Oh, Miss! Chloe's better.
Chloe? Who are you talking about?
Chloe's the kitty you helped. Now she comes over to play.
Glad to hear it. In any case, you're not allowed here.
Hey, Miss. What's your name?
You don't listen, you punk kid.
Oh, I'm Naomi. Naomi Kimishima.
Okay. Hi, Naomi. I'm Alyssa. I live just on the other side of the garden here.
I see. That makes us neighbors.
Yep, so I can come see you anytime I want.
No.
Now, Alyssa, this is a place where most people can't go. That's why I need you to...
Oh, and who's this little princess? Am I intruding?
Chief.
Hello, mister. I'm Alyssa.
No one cares, Alyssa. Get off my lawn.
Hello, Alyssa. I'm
Or I'll
Dave.
wave my fist at you.
Excuse me, but can I borrow Naomi for just a moment?
Okay, Naomi's got work to do, right? I'll be going then. Bye-bye, Naomi. See you later.
Is that where she crawls through? Is that little... Yeah, that little hole down there.
It seems you've made a cute little friend.
Time to set up some mousetraps.
You know she doesn't have any security clearance, right?
Now, do you think I'm that uptight? It's not like we're using diamonds to decorate the garden.
Anyway, you're here to talk about work, correct? I'm listening.
Yes, a few hours ago, a body was found in Oxford. The FBI is requesting that we send you to investigate it.
Me? Is there some crime involved?
It's our job to determine that. What do you say?
There probably is. We'll probably get a creepy phone call
This is
saying,
my
"No,
duty,
don't
isn't it?
stab me in the
I'm on
chest
it."
with that big giant pickaxe you've got, Mr. Johnson." And then we'll be like,
The
I
victim
wonder who
lived
this
in a
Mr.
cottage
Johnson
in
is.
Oxford with her husband.
And why does he have a bloody pickaxe?
The husband called the police, saying he had killed her. When they arrived, she was on the floor with a chest
Oh, here we go again. What are we going to say this time? I don't think that ever comes through the mic too well, but you'll be able to hear it at the end of the mission anyway, so... I still like to put it up close to the mic just on the off chance that something kind of interesting comes out of that.
The FBI thinks the husband may not be telling the truth. All right. Let's discover how this tragedy played out.
It is really neat from a player perspective, just to have this speaker, which...
Tell me the facts we have, little guy.
To have this, like, speaker in your Wii remote, which, honestly, most games don't use, and I don't think it's that necessary to use. Like, if you used it a lot, it'd be annoying, but in key points like this, it's a kind of neat effect to have, as long as you don't overdo it. If you put a lot of audio through it, it's really annoying to listen to because it doesn't replicate very well, but it is kind of cool for an occasional thing like this. I think there was another game where, like, they tried to make the Wii remote into a phone where you'd put it up next to your ear and it would play something through the speaker. It's a neat effect, and I think in moderation it's kind of cool.
Yes, ma'am. The victim is 75-year-old Alma Parker. Her husband Joseph called the police late last night. On arrival, they found her body, stabbed in the chest. The husband was in a wheelchair, holding a bloody knife. Joseph's account is that they had a fight that escalated.
A man in a wheelchair stabbed someone who could walk?
That's what he says happened.
I suppose not impossible.
Find out what you can about the murder. I'll check the body.
But even without her fancy,
Right, please
you
get
know,
started.
evil phone powers,
The dead tell no tales. And if they do, nobody listens.
except
Only the
me.
dead who haven't died yet
Oh.
can discover the truth. Let's begin. Show me how your light was put out.
Even without its spooky phone power, this just does seem a tad suspicious, does it not? Just that the husband would call and say, yeah, I murdered her. Well, he seems pretty grouchy. Oh, there's a lot of talking here. Alright, so yeah, I'll go check out the corpse. First, let me just look at our one clue so far. Oh, we have a knife. Now see, that's a weird last words to come from somebody that's stabbing you. Definitely seems highly questionable. Even without that, though, I mean, it still is like, well, that's pretty iffy there. Okay, let's check the clothing first, because I think that's going to be less interesting. Anything going on here? Got a bloody wrist and a bloody back. Bloody front, too. It looks like they got stabbed through. Is that cross-shaped from the stab wound, or is that just... It kind of looks like it, actually, because there's a cross wound on the back, too. There's also some hair up here, it looks like. This is caused by stab wound to the chest. However, this isn't useful information in and of itself. Still, if it's a cross-shaped wound, that is kind of suspicious, considering that they're saying a knife was a murder weapon. Not impossible, of course, but an odd way to carry out a murder like that. His clothing's torn and there's blood all over it. This is caused by a stab to the chest? If it was, she must have been stabbed with a great deal of force. Definitely seems suspicious, as are all of these so far, so not exactly new in that regard, but still very suspicious.
Bloodstains on the left sleeve. Was there a wound on the corpse's arm?
We should check for that.
It could be the murderer's blood. This needs to be investigated further.
Should also determine, yeah, we should determine who made that blood.
What's this? Is it hair?
She had white hair,
That's
didn't
bizarre, because
she? She had white hair, didn't she? Oh, they both have white hair, yeah. So it doesn't match their hair.
indeed, the victim and the suspect reportedly both have white hair. I need to send this in for analysis and identification.
Gotta love DNA analysis. Helps you get clues from random stuff like that. Alright, what do you got, corpse? Anything of interest? Anything with your legs? Did your legs get run over by a truck? That happened. Oh, you there. The heck?
What could this be?
Is that a hole or is that just a mark on your hand? Yeah.
I've never seen a bruise like this. Is it something congenital?
It seemed like some sort of star-shaped tool, possibly like what was on your chest, maybe had that happen. Whoa, what's this? Why you got a circle here?
This is internal bleeding. It might have been caused by something pressing against the palm.
Oh, I'm liking where this is going. There's all sorts of weird marks on your body.
It would require a great deal of force to leave this mark on the victim. Was she struggling against the murderer? Or is there a different reason behind it?
I like where this is going. This is looking spooky. Okay, well, we do indeed have what looks to be like some sort of large stake rammed through you. Good lord.
This must be the fatal
You
stab
think? If it goes straight through your body, that's pretty
It
bad.
has an odd shape. The weapon's cross-section must be...
Cross-shaped.
Right. The weapon must be shaped like a cross. That weapon most likely penetrated the heart and killed the victim. What kind of weapon has a shape like that?
An oversized screwdriver? I mean, like a stake? Maybe she was a vampire?
This stab wound is small, but it's rather deep. There's a wound with a similar shape, but it's a different size.
That probably means that it was a spear-shaped weapon, larger on one end than the other, and so it created a larger indentation in the front than it did in the back. Just as an idea, why do you have a star on your head? What is this?
The victim has a wound on her head. It's star-shaped?
I think that's going to be a really interesting clue, considering that isn't something that is a normal shape to have.
What can the wounds tell us?
Shape of the weapon, I guess.
Yes, we can figure out the shape of the weapon that inflicted them. Still, a star-shaped bruise.
Yeah, that is an odd
What kind
bruise
of
to
weapon
have.
would leave that?
I think that would be something oddly specific that is actually going to help us out later. Oh, this is shaping up to be interesting. Alright, time to combine clues. Are they going to tell us what to do less now? It kind of seems like that. Alright, what could have made a star-shaped bruise? Possibly this? No. Doesn't appear to be caused by trauma. We can match the two wounds together, I bet.
These stab wounds are different sizes, but they have the same shape. We can deduce that these wounds are connected by...
The weapon probably penetrated the body. The victim... I guess they could have been stabbed twice, but that seems unlikely. Two murderers. She got stabbed by two different people at the same
These two wounds were
time.
caused by the same strike, piercing all the way through her body. If that's the case, the entry wound was...
Neither.
Indeed. If something is pierced all the way through by a sharp implement, the entry wound must be at least as large as the exit wound. If these wounds were caused by the same strike, it would have to be 20 centimeters or longer. This isn't enough to identify a weapon, but it does get us one step closer.
One thing I'd like to note about that is that while I wouldn't say someone in a wheelchair couldn't do this, it seems a little bit less likely. That is a good bit of force to do something like that. And somebody in a wheelchair, I think, would have difficulty delivering the force needed to do that. At least unaided. Maybe some sort of tool was used. Can we identify that?
Little guy, can we determine the shape of this weapon?
It seems spear-shaped.
I think so, yes. I'll need some information, though. What can you tell me? How big is it?
Well, it's at least...
What'd you say, 20 centimeters? I think. That seems about right. In my crazy world of inches, that's like what? Something like 8, 9 inches? Somewhere around there? I'm just estimating based upon a 30 centimeter 1 foot ruler. So, about 8 inches or so.
20 centimeters. It's shaped like a...
Like a cross. It's cross-shaped.
a cross shape. Does that help?
Yes, thank you. We'll have the results in a moment. I see. This isn't a cutting tool, like a knife.
That's what I figured. It's a stabbing
It's like
tool.
a spike or a spear. Something meant for piercing.
So, a stabbing weapon. I don't like the looks of this.
Right. This isn't your usual murder weapon.
Yeah, this is probably something a little bit out of the ordinary, I would imagine. Especially considering that there's weird star bruises. Can we combine it with that? No. Oh yeah, analyze that.
Hey, little guy,
Get
could you
to
analyze
it.
this
Tell me
hair?
what it means.
Yes, of course. Dr. Kimishima, this isn't human hair. It seems to be from some sort of animal. Did the victims have any tame household creatures?
I don't know, maybe it was a bear attack.
You know, they're called pets. And no, there weren't any signs that they had any.
How do you know? Have we investigated the scene yet?
Strange.
I guess we were
Still,
told that.
This is obviously not human hair. I can see cuticles, so this isn't synthetic hair or a fiber.
All right. Can you identify what animal it's from?
No, that's beyond my expertise. Oh, but I do see something odd about it.
Go on.
It looks like a bear.
The hair has a tip, but the other end doesn't have a root.
No root. That means...
That means it was cut? Yeah, it would have been cut rather than torn.
So the hair had been cut.
Which likely means someone did this intentionally, or maybe unintentionally, but it didn't happen like naturally, like getting torn out, like something had to have cut
Right.
this.
This means that the hair didn't fall off the animal naturally.
Why would something like this be on the corpse?
This'll throw them cops off. We'll cut off some hair and stick it on her shoulder. Yeah, we can probably compare it to the murder weapon shape, but it doesn't match. We need to have him check the blood. Check it, check it.
Dr. Kimishima, do you need an analysis?
Well,
Whose
I'm not
blood
going
is
to ask
this?
you out on a date. Just look at these.
Okay.
Okay.
Are these bloodstains?
Yes, they were on the victim's left sleeve.
That's odd. This blood isn't the victim's.
What do you mean?
Well, the results say that only the H-type antigen was detected in this blood. That makes this blood type O.
And there's not a lot of people with blood type O from what
The
I
victim
can
has
know.
type A blood. What about her husband? He's a suspect.
He has type O. Does this mark him as the culprit after all?
No, but he is more suspicious now.
Let's not start jumping to conclusions.
But it's something we should keep in mind, because type O blood isn't exactly the most common. We should probably test anybody that's connected to this case for type O
First,
blood.
let's check to see if the husband is injured. If this blood came from him, he must be wounded.
Hope you aren't coughing up blood or anything crazy like that other person. Alright, let's compare the weapons.
Something's not right. What do you think, little guy?
I don't think that was the murder weapon.
You mean the weapon in the shape of the wound, right?
That knife isn't long enough to have done that, and it's nowhere close to the right shape. No, something else has to be the real murder weapon. The second thing this tells us is
Joseph's lying. He's lying about something. He might still be the murderer, but that's not how that happened.
I agree. The husband's definitely lying to us about something. In any case, we know for sure that the knife isn't the murder weapon.
take it easy.
whoops.
We just have to think about all of this. A sharp weapon, like a spear that can go through a human body. We'll have to find out what it was.
That's something that should... Just how did she die? We'll probably have to, interrogate him some more. Doesn't really match with the weapon. I think we might be done. Can you analyze anything else? Alright, I think we're done for here, probably. Yeah, we'll back out.
Dr. Kimishima. We're done interrogating Joseph.
We used the big stick this time.
Joseph? You mean the victim's husband who confessed to the murder?
Yes, he just keeps saying that he killed her. We've got nothing to go on.
I'd like to hear the recordings myself anyway.
There'll probably be one fatal clue he dropped somewhere.
I want to know if the blood on the victim's sleeve was his or not.
I've already sent you the data. You can examine it whenever you want.
Yes, I'll do that. Thank you.
Alright, let's take a listen. A listen.
I've already told you people, it was a domestic dispute. I was angry at my wife and I stabbed her. That's all there is to it.
You should think about talking this out before stabbing people.
So what if I'm in a wheelchair? It doesn't mean I can't stab someone.
You look like you're trying awfully hard to pin yourself down, like no matter what. I feel like he's trying to cover for somebody. Maybe like a family member who stabbed her?
She was standing right in front of me, so I just shanked her right there.
You shanked her? Yeah, you just shanked her right there.
I turned myself into the police right after. You know what happened after that. What? What about my hand? I injured it, that's all.
I see.
Uh-oh.
The victim's husband does have an injury on his hand.
Well, that kind of goes along with the evidence. Oh well. I was hoping to be like, what? I've never injured myself in my life.
This will prove that the bloodstains came from the husband.
It's kind of looking open and shut here, isn't it? Okay, the blood on Alma's sleeve.
True. These pieces of information do share a common bond. The blood on the victim's sleeve is type O. Joseph has a wound on his right hand, and he himself has type O blood. There's little doubt that the bloodstains on the sleeve were left by him.
We're getting some solid evidence fast, look at that.
That doesn't prove that he killed Alma, though. We'll need more evidence to be certain. Let's keep investigating.
Okay, so... I think I'm out of clues?
This is one bizarre
Yeah.
case. There's so much about it that's hard to believe.
I mean, it looks open and shut, but we know otherwise.
You don't think the husband did it, Dr. Kimishima?
Who knows? Anyway, let's put the
My
facts
evil
we
phone
know so
knows.
far in order. The reason why it's doubtful that the victim's husband is the murderer is because...
Well, he's lying. He must have hid the real murder weapon.
Yes, the knife he says he used could not have caused the wounds she died of. There are other reasons to doubt him too, no matter what weapon he used. Pushing it all the way through a human body would require a lot of strength.
And that's kind of my holdup here. Not impossible, but he's in a wheelchair. He can't stand.
Indeed. He is wheelchair-bound and cannot stand under his own strength. Would he be able to kill someone like this while sitting in a wheelchair?
Maybe he's like in a chariot and he's just running at her. He's just running at her. He's like jousting with her, only she doesn't have a jousting pole, and that's how she died. Maybe they're having a fun family game, and then that happened. Whoops. Our jousting event went wrong.
His hospital records make it clear that he can't stand up at all.
Yes. The shape of the weapon and the details of the death make it unlikely that he's the murderer. Still, he insists that he's the one who killed her.
I don't get it. Usually people lie to avoid being blamed for a crime.
Huh.
Which is why
you
this
have a
is
lot of
suspicious.
experience with lying, Mr. Investigator?
Hey, we agreed not to bring up the past, didn't we?
But why would he want to make himself the criminal?
All I can think of is that he's defending somebody else.
Bingo.
Either that, or covering up an even bigger lie.
Uh-oh.
That doesn't change what I need to do at all. Contact HQ about the inconsistencies we've discovered and interrogate the husband again. I'm
Maybe
going to
he's
crime
the,
scene. Tell them that, too.
Maybe he's the roaming spear killer that's killed like 1,000 other people in the area. And no one suspects him because he's in a wheelchair and his wife found out, so he had to kill her too.
Understood. I'll get authorization
But
immediately.
he doesn't want them to connect him to the roaming spear killer, so he used a knife. Or he said he did, even though he actually used the same spear. Alright, let's check the scene. We have all of our tools this time, so we can spray and powder and shine up things as much as we'd like. Why do you guys put the thing on the floor? That's not realistic. And it messes with the crime scene. Yep, she's dead. As suspected. What do you mean there's no blood here? I sense a lie going on. That's not real blood, that's tomato sauce. Okay. What about up here? Anything of interest? Family photos. Some of them are old and some are recent. I feel like we could get some fingerprints off of these, right? Maybe? What is that? Oh, it's not important. Table stuff.
There's an inscription on this clock.
Is this gonna be the thing where someone gets killed by the clock? This is feeling very Phoenix Wright-ish, just from the little bit I played. But it does have that interesting star mark that we were looking for.
To my loving father and mother from Abby. A gift from a family member? Oh, why does this decoration look familiar?
It's the bruise on the corpse's head.
That's right. It's the same as that star-shaped bruise on the victim's head. The murderer could have struck the victim with this clock. I need to take this back and carefully investigate it.
It's my clock. I want it. I was gonna look at it with the light and stuff. See if I can get anything from that. Some spray action on. And nothing still. Get some powder on. They might just be omitting it for gameplay purposes, because in a normal household you would find like thousands of fingerprints probably, but it is odd that we're not finding any in this. What's up with this chair? Suspicious? Suspicious chair. They haven't told me I can leave yet. Which means there must still be something here, I think. Or maybe. I don't know. Photo of them. They look so happy. Anything on the photos? Nope. A little bit of spray action going on. What about the door? Anybody come in? Odd. I would have figured we'd find more stuff here. Is there anything else on the table of interest?
There are traces of something
here we go.
burned in this fireplace. It's something other than firewood. I wonder if there's anything left. I've got something. What is this?
A classic mistake, not completely burning all of your evidence. And burning it like right next to where the body was, another classic
There's
mistake.
something else here too. Is this fur? What is this doing here?
We should see if it matches the hair we found. Did they burn a dog? You dog burners? We never found any animals because they burned them all. Yeah, not really gonna get much from ashes, are we? What's that?
This. It's a shard of glass. What could that be from? Supposedly, only Joseph and the responding police officer were at the murder scene. If that's the case, then...
They're the real murderers. It's either the third or the first one. Okay, I'll take my half heart.
Yes, there were no other shards of glass in the area.
I don't know if I'd call that suspicious as much as maybe they dropped glass at one point, they cleaned it up and just failed to get right under the table, but...
The police wouldn't be so foolish as to contaminate the crime scene. I'm beginning to wonder if someone there had cleaned up the other shards of glass. I could send this shard to analysis. We might learn something about it.
It's a piece of glass. Well, thanks. Alright, let's go back. That was a very fruitful fact discovery trip. I'm sure we'll come back at some point.